Transformers. Comic number 2 in a 4-issue limited series. Optimus Prime versus Megatron. 4 million years ago, they came from Cybertron, a world composed entirely of machinery, a world torn by an age-old war between the heroic Autobots and the evil Decepticons. These incredibly powerful living robots, capable of converting themselves into land and air vehicles, weapons, and other mechanical forms, continue their conflict here on Earth. They are the Transformers. On a craggy Oregon cliff, the Decepticons, under cover of darkness, gather. Megatron, their ruthless leader, speaks.
There, below us, is what we most desperately need to survive. Fuel! And we shall take it.
Forgive me, great Megatron, but would it not be wiser for Buzzsaw to scout the Earth compound first?
As always, Starscream slyly seeks to undermine my command, but his advice is sound. Perhaps caution is called for, Starscream, but I choose Ravage to be our scout.
As you wish, great Megatron.
Within moments, Ravage has penetrated the security of the half-completed Harrison nuclear power plant.
At last, I am free to prowl alone. This is how it should be.
His walk is soundless. In the shadows, he literally disappears. No hint of his presence is betrayed.
With crews working around the clock, it is now only a matter of days before, cassettes run out.
Perfect. I cannot imagine a more ideal opportunity.
As the engineer reaches for a blank cassette tape, the invisible Decepticon leaps and transforms, changing and shrinking undetected from his Decepticon mode into a cassette tape, an ability mistakenly given to him by the Autobots' spacecraft, the Ark. Engineer Jason Boyd continues his progress report, never suspecting that it is being recorded onto an alien from beyond the stars.
Only a matter of days before this project is back on schedule. Harrison's maximum power output in megawatts per hour will far exceed any other nuclear.
Hours later, Ravage reverts to his Decepticon mode and returns.
What have you learned?
Ever obedient, Ravage plays back the engineer's report on his internal recording mechanisms to the assembled Decepticons. After the tape concludes,
Great Megatron, those were the words of a human describing their energy harnessing technology. The entire compound is surrounded by this strange life form that we encountered during our first battle with the Autobots on this world. Once again, you have served me well, Ravage. It appears that we are marooned on a world where, strange as it seems, humans have created the machines from which the Ark designed our combat modes. Unlike ourselves, these machines have no will of their own. These self-same humans also possess the technology to provide us with limitless life-sustaining fuel.
Megatron's deductions are most shrewd. I must be careful not to ever let my lust for power cause me to underestimate his cunning. It is only a matter of time before Starscream commands the Decepticons.
Our course is clear. We need fuel, and a base from which to obtain more fuel. Decepticons, prepare to attack!
At Megatron's command, Skywarp, Starscream, and Thundercracker transform into jet fighters.
Action at last!
As Soundwave, the Decepticons' communication relay station, amazingly transforms into a cassette player and leaps aboard Thundercracker. Still in their Decepticon modes, Laserbeak and Buzzsaw take off.
Decepticons away! Prepare to strike at Megatron's command. Thundercracker, let the helpless humans hear your battle cry.
Thundercracker's deafening sonic boom is heard over 100 miles away. The onslaught has begun. The attack is swift and deadly. Starscream takes the lead, shooting cluster bombs to scatter the workers. Thundercracker continues his ear-splitting assault.
They fall so easily before our might.
Oh! It must be the Russians! There is no let-up. Skywarp showers the building with machine gun fire.
The humans employ far better design standards on their machines than on themselves. What a backwards world!
The second wave of Decepticons attacks. With uncanny precision, Laserbeak's laser cannon take out their targets, while from out of the shadows leaps Ravage. What in the world? Through reinforced concrete walls slashes the diamond-hard, micro-serrated edged beak of the Decepticon, fittingly known as Buzzsaw.
Another masterpiece.
While on the ground, Mayday! Mayday! This is the Harrison nuclear power plant! We're under attack! We need help fast! My walkie-talkie! It's gone dead! Unbeknown to the startled worker, the malfunction is no accident. It's due to the ultra-high radio frequencies emanating from the form of frenzy. Meanwhile, communicating via soundwave.
Ceasefire! We need their technology. Begin the dismantling procedure.
To loosen vital equipment, the drum-like constructions in Rumble's body begin to roll, transmitting through his feet immense low-frequency ground waves. The result is not unlike a small earthquake. Finally, Starscream and Thundercracker transform back to their Decepticon modes. Along with their comrades, they strip the power plant of all its technology and begin to carry it off. The sight is as awesome as the panicked workers could ever imagine. Until finally, their mission accomplished, the Decepticons disappear into the night. No one will ever swallow this. Hey, I don't believe it. Meanwhile, in Sparkplug Witwicky's garage, elsewhere in Oregon.
Help me! I'm dying!
Buster, this isn't like you playing a dumb joke on your old man in the middle of the night. This is no joke, Dad. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm sure this car is alive. And unless you do whatever it takes to repair it, it will die. All right, son. I can take a joke, but that's enough. Is your friend O hiding up there? Dad, listen. Please. I've never been more serious in my life. This little yellow VW bug isn't like other cars. It needs your help desperately. Please, Dad, at least look at it. Sure, why not? I spend all day sweating over broken down heaps. Why shouldn't I do the same at night, too? While I'm at it, suppose you tell me where you found this car and what happened to the car I loaned you. Well, it gets even weirder. I was at the drive-in movie with Jesse and O when all of a sudden we were rear-ended by the Beetle. I got out of the car to talk to the Beetle's driver, only there wasn't anyone inside the Beetle. Jesse and O got out to check on what was happening. A good thing they did, because that's when our car was blown to pieces by 3 jet fighters. I swear, I heard the VW cry out in pain. Here's the problem. 4 other cars then turned into giant robots and started blasting the jet fighters. Oh, and Jesse must have split in all the confusion. I hopped into this car and steered it home. I mean, it doesn't have an ignition or gas pedal or... I don't know what they put in that popcorn at the drive-in, but I hope it's not habit-forming. Dad, please. You have to save this car, please. You're the best mechanic there is. If anyone can save its life, it's you. For crying out loud, son, it's only a car. It's made out of metal. It's a machine. And machines don't turn into robots and fight wars in movie drive-in lots. Especially one that's leaking oil. Dad, this car is alive. This isn't oil. It's the car's blood. I don't know what's got into you, but it looks like the only way I'll get any sleep around here is to fix that blasted car. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dad. Well, you were right about one thing. I am the best mechanic in these parts. They haven't yet made the car that Sparkplug Witwicky can't fix. This car is different. Hours later. Is he healed? Blast it, son. I'm a mechanic, not a doctor. All I did was fix a broken fuel line and tune up some parts. It wasn't easy. I've never seen a car quite like it. And I've... Huh? What the... Oh no, it's falling apart! No, it must be changing into its robot form. Like the others did.
It's alive!
Yes! Thanks to both of your heroic efforts, Sparkplug Witwicky, your skill rivals that of my friend Ratchet, the Autobots' greatest physician.
You mean there's more like you?
Dad, I told you about the battle in the drive-in.
Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you want? And how do you wind up in my garage?
I am codenamed Bumblebee. I'm from the planet Cybertron. I'm in desperate need of fuel, and your son drove me here. Do all small pink things ask so many questions?
Great, just what I needed. A smart-mouthed giant robot. If you need fuel, you've come to the right place.
Dad, you can't expect an extraterrestrial to guzzle premium unleaded.
Right.
Perhaps Huffer, our engineer, can devise a conversion process where we can adapt your primitive, premium, or unleaded.
Heck, maybe I can figure that out for you. I don't believe I'm having this conversation.
Where are the rest of you, Autobots?
That's Autobots. They're probably back in the Ark, our spaceship.
Gee, I'd give anything to see a real spaceship.
I'll be able to reach the Ark inconspicuously if I assume the shape of this typical Earth vehicle. Hop in, Buster.
Son, wait a minute.
This is the chance of a lifetime, Dad. I've always dreamed something like this would happen to me.
I give up.
Fear not, Sparkplug Witwicky. I merely plan to relay your generous offer, finding some way to convert earthly resources to fuel for Autobot use, to my leader, Optimus Prime. I shall safely return with your son.
Right.
Isn't this the most incredible thing that's ever happened to us? Okay, Bumblebee. Take me to your leader.
Be careful, son.
Tell me, what brought you and the other Autobots here to Earth?
Years ago, 4 million by your way of counting, my home planet, Cybertron, was torn apart by the war between the Autobots and our enemies, the Decepticons. Optimus Prime led a specially selected group into space aboard the Ark to destroy an asteroid belt that threatened to destroy our homeworld. No sooner had we successfully completed our mission, we were ambushed by the Decepticons. In our weakened state, we were no match for the full force of their attack. Sensing defeat, Optimus set the Ark on a suicide course to your planet, where we crashed into a volcano.
Wow!
Somehow, its recent eruption reactivated the Ark, which reprogrammed us to be able to transform into what it perceived to be your world's dominant life form. Machines!
Meanwhile, Ravage skulks, unseen in the shadows of the city.
While Megatron oversees construction of the Decepticon base, I am free to prowl anew.
And just ahead of Ravage, Buster's friends, Jesse and O, walk down the street. Oh, I'm worried about Buster.
Me too.
Jess, but there was no answer at his home. And that was a lady who calls herself the Dazzler.
Those humans, they are friends of the one with whom the accursed Autobots have established contact.
With the speed of thought, Ravage transforms.
My optic senses recognize them from the first battle on this world with the Autobots.
Hey, there he is! Buster!
Boy, am I glad to see you guys.
Where have you been? We've been calling you all night. Did you hear the news on the radio? Those same jet fighters from the drive-in hit the Harrison nuclear power plant.
The Decepticons have struck again. Tell me, what is a nuclear power plant?
Jess, Buster's car just talked. I noticed. Nuclear power is probably the mightiest source of energy your enemies could have chosen.
There's no time to lose. The Decepticons must be stopped before harnessing such an awesome power. Sparkplug Witwicky must find a conversion formula immediately.
There's a CB hooked up in there, right?
Oh, Jesse, you'll never believe this, but this car's from another planet. He's an Autobot called Bumblebee, and he was wounded at the drive-in. Dad repaired him, but now he has to come up with a way to turn our fuel into Autobot fuel.
Buster, we must return to your father's garage. It seems I lost more fuel than my sensors indicated.
It's too late to get on That's Incredible. It's canceled. It's no joke. I'll explain later. The complete conversation is recorded by Ravage. It's been a weird night, and it's not over yet.
Megatron must be informed at once.
Meanwhile, lying deep within Mount St. Hilary.
Computer, report.
Optimus, the ARC's computer has completed the reserve fuel analysis as you requested. Fuel reserves are very low, and efforts to repair them to a dangerous level Unless minimum fuel requirements are swiftly met, not only will this vessel remain immobile, but Autobot resistance to a Decepticon attack will be insufficient.
I doubt it, Ark. But still, we need fuel. I wonder if we can utilize Earth fuel, and how would we obtain it?
Without fuel, we are helpless. Optimus, what do we do?
The answer is obvious, Windcharger. We simply take it.
Your solution, Mirage, is both simple and simple-minded. You fail to address this planet's life forms right to their resources. Life forms? Prowl. They are not like us. Now Ratchet wants to debate. You're all just leaking lubricants while we waste what's left of our fuel. The time for talk is over. Ironhide demands action. Fear not, fellow Autobots. I have reached a decision. We must contact the units, forge an alliance with them, and then barter for the fuel we so urgently need. Cybertron's advanced technology can be offered in exchange. Be there an Autobot among us that finds fault with this plan?
Bah! Decepticons will not pander to this world's populace. They will simply seize what they need. Perhaps Mirage is on the wrong side.
I hear no dissent. The plan is accepted by one and all.
Suddenly,
Optimus, I'm receiving an emergency broadcast on a standard Autobot stress frequency. That, Hound, must be a signal from our missing friend, Bumblebee.
with spare parts and Sparkplug's help, Bumblebee has constructed a communicator.
Optimus, Decepticons have acquired an awesome power source. We must find a fuel source of our own fast.
Don't forget to tell them that I'll help you find a way to convert our fuel for your use.
A human has offered to help us adapt Earth fuel to our special needs. You have done well, Bumblebee. You've established the very alliance we need.
Thank you, Optimus Prime.
Hey, you didn't tell them how to get here.
That won't be necessary. They have already homed in on this frequency.
Autobots, convert to Earth modes. Let's move out.
Engines roar as the Autobots leave the Ark, climbing a road forged by engineers Huffer and Wheeljack, while Ratchet remains behind with a small crew to continue repairs on the Ark.
Without fuel, even my considerable skills are useless.
Meanwhile, in the half-completed Decepticon base, constructed from various parts of the Harrison nuclear plant.
Ravage reports that a human has agreed to aid the Autobots. We must have that human. Either he converts fuel for the Decepticon cause, or he dies.
Outside the fortress,
Decepticons, away!
once again, Skywarp, Starscream, Thundercracker, Laserbeak, and Buzzsaw scream away into the dark Oregon skies. While across the street from Sparkplug Witwicky's garage, the Rolands are rudely awakened. Those cars don't have any drivers in them, Mitchell. Ugh. Oh, Sparky probably developed some kind of remote control device, Doris. Still, I never seen his yard quite so busy before. Now I've seen everything.
Optimus Prime's fellow Autobots meet Sparkplug and Buster Witwicky.
And as not only the Witwickies, but the Rolands as well watch, Optimus transforms.
I bring greetings from Cybertron.
This one's even bigger than Bumblebee. Hi.
I believe Bumblebee already informed you of our vital fuel needs.
I'd be honored to help beings like you.
Hey, the Autobots are grateful, human.
Suddenly, the deafening sound of a sonic boom fills the air, followed by the streaking sight of 3 F-15 jet fighters swooping down.
Decepticon attack! Autobots, prepare to defend this position!
Oh no, not again!
Bumblebee, shield the humans. We must not allow any harm to come to them.
As you command, Optimus.
Run, son! This is turning ugly. Take cover in that old car body. They're turning the scrap in my yard into, well, scrap. Somehow, it all didn't seem this real back in the drive-in. A once quiet junkyard rapidly turns into a blazing battleground.
Somehow, Sideswipe, the Decepticons knew we were going to be here. If it's a fight they want, Sunstreaker, we can give it to them. My electron pulse gun shouldn't disappoint them. While you get him in your sights, I'll go get him up close and personal. Ever eager for battle, my brother has rashly employed his energy-draining rocket backpack. Take a look at this, Discrapticon.
Aye, that Autobot's flare gun has blinded Thundercracker.
While below, what have we gotten ourselves into?
I don't know.
Follow me, Skywarp. We must capture the human called Sparkplug.
Run for your lives!
Sorry to jump in front, Hound, but you know there's nothing I enjoy more than destroying Decepticons.
I appreciate the sentiment, Sideswipe.
Just don't get in my way, brother. I like my opponent to see me before I slay him.
The humans shall not be taken. So swears Optimus.
Optimus's laser rifle easily repels Laserbeak's attack.
My logic center predicted the Decepticon trajectory perfectly. Direct hit. Fight on. Mirage, cover my flank.
Certainly, Commander. Although I prefer to leave the mess entirely and go retro-wing gliding back on Cybertron.
I'm sure my insurance doesn't cover this. That's right, officer. It's as if the Martians just landed, but worse.
Minutes later, I don't think we've got cells big enough to hold these, boys. You want me to read them their rights, or do you want to do it? Let's face it, man, this is definitely out of our league. Let's get the army to handle this.
Jesse, I'm scared. Let's not get any closer. I just hope Buster's all right. If only I could be by his side.
Frankly, I'd rather be somewhere else. Anywhere else. From out of the shadows, Ravage springs, surprising Mirage.
What? Where'd you come from? Caught me off guard. I'm unable to use my electro disruptor against him. Brother Transformer, this is madness.
Mirage is in trouble.
Who benefits from this battle? Back on Cybertron, we could be enjoying the good life.
Is this little kitty cat giving you trouble, Mirage?
Not any longer, my powerful friend Brawn.
While the battle rages on, the time has come for Megatron to take matters into his own hands.
The Autobots are winning. We're saved.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and I don't usually rush to conclude.
Overconfident fools! They entrusted their human to their weakest member.
He KO'd Bumblebee with just one shot.
You are the one I seek.
Run, son, don't let him get you too!
Dad, leave him alone. Somebody please help.
Optimus Prime hears Buster's scream
Hey,
and acts.
Megatron, surrender the human or suffer the consequences. In a word, Optimus. No!
Geronimo!
My desperate ploy worked. The human is freed, though I was nearly reduced to scrap. How dare you endanger the lives of this world's people? This isn't their war.
Hurt my leg, but I gotta get out of here.
After 4 million years, you haven't changed. You still fight with your mouth. Perhaps this will halt your endless prattling. Why do I persist in trying to reason with you, when the only language you understand is violence? You self-righteous dolt! Soon, all your precious Autobots will be reduced to lifeless slag. I will seize control of this puny world and turn it into a launching ground for my ultimate goal, the invasion of lost Cybertron.
Dad, I'm here. Stay back. It isn't safe. Dad!
You may have eluded the great Megatron, but Starscream has you now. Your fuel conversion plan belongs now to the Decepticons.
Come back. That thing, it swallowed Dad into its cockpit like he was a snack.
My presence here is required no longer. We have what we came for. Decepticons, away!
Before Optimus can react, Megatron and Ravage transform into their earthly incarnations and board the waiting Skywarp and Thundercracker. And as quickly and as suddenly as they came, they are gone.
They're getting away. Optimus, you've got to go after them. They have my dad.
I agree, my little friend. But without immediate refueling, It's impossible.
How will they be able to rescue Dad? When it looks like they can't even help themselves. Next, and along came a Spider-Man.